Okay. Um, well, this is to improve, especially soil. We talk about improving soil fertility or the nutritive content of your soil. I will have on this board 5 different kinds of soil. And as a matter of fact, I just want to take a little bit of time explaining to you exactly the kind of soil that I have. In Ghana, most of the soil that people usually farm on are this type. They are so light yellowish in color. Yes, they are very rich in some mineral, but they lack the basic mineral that can promote the effective growth of the soil. And that's generally what many of the farmers farm on, especially in Ghana and in many parts of Africa. But just beside it, I have the compost, prepared compost, which is over 2 months old now. And as a matter of fact, I still have it down there. You can see it. This is the compost which was prepared as a demonstration to many of the farmers around. And this compost has a lot of ingredients which has been incorporated into it. You can even see the biochar. It has the residual waste of your farm, the fresh grasses and the dry grasses. We also have the sawdust, which is also there, and then the compost, the animal droppings, which is also added to it. So, but that one which I just showed to you, the one which I just showed to you, is 2 months old and it's under the rain, and the rain is still falling on it. Last week when I tested it, I realized that the nitrogen level is still 26%, which is very high. Nitrogen is one of the basic elements that easily get leached. But when I tested it, it was still there. When I did the pH, it was very dark green, which means it is very suitable for your crops. And when I did for other elements like phosphorus and potassium, they gave me a very good sign that it is very rich in it. Now, over here, this is the compost that I'm making. And in this one, I've just used 10% of the of biochar, and you can even find the crop residue in it because this one is not completely degraded, and you can see that it is still there, and is so by next week it would have been degraded. Now, so this is 2 months. Tomorrow, Thursday, this will be a month old. Now, here I have the biochar. The biochar here is put into the soil so as to eliminate or inhibit the proliferation of parasitic or bacteria that will not help in the promotion of the crop. So, and then it will promote rather the proliferation of beneficial bacteria that the soil and the plant will need. Here I have the animal dropping from either pigs, poultry, or cow, and it's also incorporated into the compost that we are preparing. Now for biochar, there's a very special benefit that which we include uh, into the compost for for a special benefit. The biochar on its own, as I've said, we promote beneficial bacterial growth for the soil and for the crop. It will eliminate things that will not lead to better crop performance. It will make the soil permeable for roots and this thing to penetrate, roots, water, and air to penetrate. As a matter of fact, if you watch the soil compost, you can see how loose it is. That is how it is when you also include biochar. Become very loose, and especially in flooded area, places where water logging and all the rest, you find out that this is the place where you can, this ingredient, baucha, is what you can use to make the land very dry so that the water can easily seep in out of the land. And you can see the baucha, this is not even a soil, but look at the waste tomato seedling which has been planted here. And you can see that it is doing very well because of the beneficial effect of baucha in your soil. And you can see this one is just, this is about 1 foot tall, and it's just a month old, which means it's also ready for transplant. And this is baucha. I have over here the compost, the animal dropping from the cattle. And it's also doing a very marvelous work here for the distance. And as you can see, the rain is still coming and still dropping and washing off the vital nutrients that is needed for. Now I'm going to take you to another place where I have prepared the compost and then the manure tea, so you can have a look at how it is done. Now, this farm basically has a lot of residue or waste from crops and for livestock. If you watch here, this is where they dump the piggery waste. Nobody is thinking about utilizing this waste to improve yield on the farm. So I came in here to teach them how to make the compost. This is the compost I showed you over there that I said tomorrow it will be a month old. And it is still not fully. And you can see it. This is the one we added the 10% of the baucha into it. You can see it. The rain has started dropping, and you can see it. The sign is on it. And when the rain is coming, we are all going to use this roofing sheet and just to cover so that it doesn't leach the nitrogen, especially the nitrogen, off. You can see the second one which is there. That one, by next week, it will also be ready for transplanting. So yes, we extend this technology to the farmers. Now over here I have the manure tea. The manure tea, and I'm sure you know when I say manure tea, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Over here I have the droppings from the livestock, especially ruminants, which is being fermented in this water, and you can see it's so very rich. This one is already a month old, which means we need to now store it, and we'll be diluting it gradually to be able to spray the leaves of the crops, that we have planted on the farm. So yes, organic farm has started in Ghana with the use of what? The waste that we generate in our homes, on our farms, and everywhere. As you can see, this can prepare almost, this waste that I'm showing you there, the piggery waste, can prepare almost like the 5 ton I'm looking for. And there's still more at the back of the piggery structure itself, so which, if we have the time or the energy, the resources, we should be able to convert into a rich fertile soil for the crops to do very well. And as you can see, this is just the beginning of the compost. Now if I take you to the field for you to see the kind of field, as I've said, the farmers prefer to work on. This is the field that most of farmers will work on, and this is very poor in nutrients. And this one, you don't expect the yield to be better. So what we are trying to do here is that instead of this, we will now do a little bit of compost, so that we will now plant them in the pits. The portion that we need to plant seedlings, take a kilo of that, bury it with the seedling, and then we watch it how it grows from there. And as you can see, it has started. not going to stop until we're able to change the technology that is being used